my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
So Alan Wake comes from New York City. And for years, he was writing crime stories set in New York City. We have a couple of these flashbacks to New York, and that's how New York is present in Alan Wake. I love New York. I love it as an idea. Actually, like, you know, writing the Max Payne games that were also set in New York. I had never visited New York in my life. Everything kind of inspiration for it came from pop culture, from movies mainly. So to me, it's this archetype of a fictional city.
For me on the machine.
You have one new message. Ow! Are you still asleep? Wake in your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry David Show.
Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously, though. 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good? Great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and,
Hey, honey. Did you watch the show?
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Oh, man.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you going to start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet. Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun. Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Good luck, Al.
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed. Alone, in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape. It was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter.
Still talking about New York, as this inspiring, almost like a magical place, is that obviously now, with Control, we are back in New York, and once again. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if down the line we would have more games set there. But this idea of not having visited New York while writing Max Payne games is kind of a thing overall. Like to this day, I have never been in Washington State wilderness, in any of the small towns. Yes, I've been to Seattle multiple times, but not to actual locations that have inspired Alan Wake.
Me. There was a link between us, always would be. I could feel it.
So I feel that there are many different ways of doing research for writing. And sometimes, obviously, it's great to visit the location where the story is set. But I don't feel that that's necessarily something that you need to do. Or in some cases, it can even start to kind of mean that the story you want to tell ends up not working because you know too much about this location. In our stories, the inspiration comes from popular culture more than anything.
Based on the signature in the motel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
A couple of words about the Birdleg Cabin, which is a very central, very mystical location in Alan Wake. There is an obvious connection to Slavic folklore with the witch Baba Yaga, who has this cabin on bird legs. And we have the 2 round windows that are kind of eyes of a bird. And in the study where Alan Wake ends up riding, we have a taxidermy owl between these windows. So a lot of these references to this bird. But at the same time, I feel that for every Finnish person, the idea of a summer cabin and these magical sunlit nights of summer hold this very, very special place in their minds. So the Birdleg Cabin is this mystical place, and in terms of like lore that we start establishing in Control through the lens of what Federal Bureau of Control thinks about these things and how they see these things, the of power with mystical properties. Hmm.